Welcome back to FriDATE. I'm joined by media personality and entrepreneur TerryAnne Chebet, who is among a few media personalities who has built their business empires and a mother of two beautiful daughters. So great to have you, TerryAnne, on my show.
Thank you, Karen.
Finally, we get to meet.
Finally.
What about the odds?
I know. Thank you. Thank you for having me this evening.
Thank you for coming tonight. Let's start by getting to know you a little. Of course, how was your childhood like? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Kitale.
Okay.
A country girl, farm girl at heart. Beautiful childhood, in the countryside, doing countryside things, going to the shamba. Those are some of the earliest memories I have. I'm from a family of 5. We were very close-knit, but of course, jumping from one household to another, my cousins, my aunties, we all lived, sort of near. So childhood was amazing. I think it was a normal Kenyan childhood.
And then you came, of course, to Nairobi.
Yes, then Nairobi happened after Form 4. I came this way to act, actually.
Really?
Yes.
So
I did.
So you didn't jump into media immediately?
No.
Interesting.
I actually thought very early on, I was, because of encouragement from teachers, they're like, no, you should try acting, and I did act a little bit in between.
Okay.
So right after Form 4, came to Nairobi, did a short course on drama, and then I did some set books. I joined Phoenix Players.
Wow.
Acted there for a bit, and then media happened. I went into studying broadcast journalism. Yes.
Yeah. And how has it been, of course, raising 2 beautiful daughters? The balance, of course, is.
It's been amazing. I mean, motherhood is a gift, and I thank God for it. And it has been, nothing prepares you for parenting. You always think of the joys, but there's always a balance. And I say it's one of the most grounding experiences anybody will ever experience. So I mean, I have a 16-year-old and a 4-year-old. She'll be 5 next month.
Wow.
And it's been an incredible journey. I've grown up. I believe over time I've also become a better mom, and honestly, it's my biggest. If somebody asks me, what does success look like for you, it'll start with my family. With my kids.
Yeah. And so, what advice would you give? Of course, there's so many single mothers watching you right now. So, what advice would you give them on single, parenting? Of course, it could be mothers. It's also fathers, single fathers out there, and they're trying to balance, work, their careers and at home, and most of them leave the kids, with a maid. And so what advice would you give them on?
I would say, first of all, just, be confident in your parenting, because sometimes you're pushed so much and you sort of think, I'm working too hard, I'm being too busy, I'm not there for my children, but trust, trust the process. And parenting has to be deliberate. It's either quality over quantity, depending on how you look at it. When I was so crazy busy, crazy hours, it was more quality over quantity. But actually, currently, I'm looking at it from more of a and quality perspective. So I want to be present. I want to be there. I want to. Now I'm able to drop my children off to school. A big difference, So to single moms, single dads, hold it in. I always say, if God has given you children that you have to raise on your own for some time, it's okay. He'll give you the strength to carry on. And and parenting is fun.
Yeah.
So and eventually, you never know, you could meet somebody, settle down. Because deep down, for many single moms I know, it's always like, will my child grow up feeling that there's a gap?
Yeah.
That they don't have a present father. But, the world sort of sorts it out.
Yeah, of course. And everything happens naturally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Would you want to get married one day?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I would. I mean, the older I get, I know the harder it gets in terms of I'm so used to my own space. So there's a lot of compromise, when you're dating and you realize, oh, oops, okay. There's still things that have to be traditionally, how a home should be. So it gets harder because I find it sometimes even difficult to share my space. And I know anybody who's 43 and has lived alone for a long time, like I have, knows exactly what I mean. So it is hard, but I do want to get married someday. I don't want to grow old alone.
Of course. Nobody wants to grow, of course, and companionship is very important.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Do you miss the media sometimes, TerryAnne, being on my side of the table?
I'll tell you what. I miss the media when I watch the business news.
Because you were a business journalist
Yes.
and news anchor.
Yes. And I'm like, what is going on? Why are we not giving it the attention it deserves?
Very true.
So I miss that. But I don't miss the hours. I absolutely do not miss the hours. But I miss my colleagues. I miss the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think media has also changed. So yes, sometimes I miss TV, but you know, there's a social media where a majority of the target audience also is. Mm-hmm. So in a sense, I don't feel like I completely left.
Yeah.
Because I'm still doing stuff on social media, you know, Twitter chats, moderating stuff on Facebook.
And your YouTube, of course.
And YouTube, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, in 2020, you resigned as Metropole TV GM to focus on your businesses. Now, let's start with your public relations and advertising agency. What inspired you into this, and what exactly do you offer, the services you offer?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what inspired me, honestly, I was bored.
That's a very honest answer. Yeah.
So I was working at a TV channel at the time because the agency has been on for a while. And we used to report to work at 1:30 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So my morning was absolutely free. And I was like, I need to do something with my morning. I've never been the type to just sit down and do nothing. And I was like, oh, okay, I like social media. So I could convince a few people to help me, to let me run their businesses on social media, you know, manage their social media platforms. And that's how it started. That's a couple of years ago. And then in 2020, when I left Metropole, I now decided I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
So I like to do a strategic plan. You know, like, you know, when people ask you, what are you doing for the next 5 years?
Yeah.
I hadn't seriously done it until I was doing a strategic plan for Metropole TV actually at the time, because COVID had happened. So we're like, we need to go back to the drawing board. How does, you know, TV then change with time? And at some point I was like, wait a minute, if companies have strategic plans, why don't I have a strategic plan?
Exactly.
So I did my strategic plan, and I realized the kind of lifestyle I want to live, the kind of comfort I want to provide for my children, maybe could not come through employment. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to hang my boots and try something and give my effort to the business, because I started them both in the skincare business as well. But it was always a side hustle. So I was like, let me try and make this the main hustle. Yeah. It's not yet there. You said the word empire, and I'm like, hello, Kayara. No.
Well, from my mouth to God's ears.
Amen to that.
Yes. What does public relations mean to you?
Managing your communication with the people that matter to you. So, you know, if you look at it as audiences, if I'm Karen, for instance, who's your audience? So your employers are your audience, the media is your audience, depending on the spaces that you're in. So how are those relationships? So we come in to help you as a company manage your relationships better, you know, stakeholders, investors, communication generally. I'm currently doing a podcast for the IFC on women in renewable energy.
Tell us more about that, by the way.
So it's one of the most interesting projects I've ever done. Okay. So it's a podcast featuring African women in the renewable energy space. So I've spoken to a Kenyan lady who's based in London, a lady who is a Nigerian 29-year-old CEO of a company that operates in 3 West African countries. At the age of 29, her name is Ola, brilliant woman. And actually, the most recent episode is Carol Koech, who's the country president for Schneider East Africa. So it's just, you know, exposure to amazing women, and there's so much happening in that space. There's so many opportunities for young women to also join, you know, the renewable energy space. So that it's actually one of my most exciting projects to date.
Yeah. And of course, from that baby, you have this baby right here. So we talk skincare now, guys. And of course, you're the founder of Kayara Botanics, organic skincare and baby oil products. Does the word Kayara have any hidden meaning?
No, actually. So
It's very unique, actually.
Hundreds of names.
Yeah, very unique.
And I thought, so I asked people, like, I thought it would be called Butterfly Kisses.
That was
and
really
everyone
cute,
was like,
by the way, Butterfly Kisses?
Yeah.
But for kids, though.
For kids, I guess. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Butterfly Kisses. I hope no one steals that. Yo, guys.
That's a good idea. I'm right. Okay. So I asked around, and a friend of mine who was in advertising is actually the one who sent me the name. So he sent me a couple of names, and I was like,
so you have to choose from.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, that's it. So it's a derivative from the name Kayara, which means ebony or black. So it's a beautiful black, and I was like, that's the name, and it just felt right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has no hidden meaning.
So what inspired you to actually start this, TerryAnne?
My oldest daughter, Imani, has eczema.
Okay.
And this was actually our very first product. That's shea butter.
This is the same as this one?
Yes.
Okay. That's so Kayara Botanics. Maybe if I can show it there to that camera. This is the Kayara Botanical shea butter for eczema, right?
For eczema, yes.
Okay.
And actually for everything. It's just a natural, 100% natural oil. Amazing it's actually head to toe. Hair, skin, 0 preservatives, no chemicals. Anyone can use it, men, women, children from birth. So my daughter has eczema because eczema doesn't really have a cure.
Yeah, yeah.
And a doctor recommended that we try using natural products. So I started using shea butter, which he proposed. And I realized there was other mothers who also wanted the same product.
Yeah.
They were looking for natural solutions to, to what their children were going through. And sometimes we didn't know where to get these things. There was only, I think, one brand that was selling at Healthy You at the time.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. I was like, clearly there is an opportunity there. And then, the brand has grown. This is my proudest line though, the baby care range.
The baby care.
Yes, so we have a baby wash, we have a baby oil, and we're growing that line into hair as well before the end of the year. So it has been an interesting journey. Now we have, I think, about 17 different products.
That's really nice. From
shea butter, which basically was out of my kitchen and in my car boot.
Wow.
So if you were around my space, I'd be like, do you want some shea butter?
Okay,
but it has been.
We have a number of products. Of course, we will dissect each and every one of them.
Okay.
But for the ones watching, what exactly is eczema? For the ones who don't really understand what that is. So
eczema is a dry skin care condition. I mean, dry skin condition. And mostly children who have allergies or a family history of asthma, allergic reactions, they get eczema. I don't know where it comes from. Some people say it's aggravated by protein, but basically it's an allergic skin condition. But so your skin goes dry, and there are different variants of eczema. But what we realized much later on was that I felt like nobody was really telling us what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it happens until today. My daughter was born in 2006, but we didn't think about it as such a big problem until one time she had nappy rash, and it was so bad, and when we had to go to hospital because of nappy rash. And then the doctor said, this is eczema.
Yeah.
So we have to treat it differently. We have to get steroid creams, which
very harsh also to
very
the skin.
harsh, yeah. And so we found a really good doctor who said, you can use the medicated creams when it flares up really badly. She gets hers around the joints.
Okay.
Yeah. And he says, when she does not flare up, stay natural as possible. And we actually began managing the cycle. So the cycle started becoming wider.
Yeah.
So then in between the flare-ups. But it has been quite a journey, learning how to brand, how to price, how to sell, because nobody teaches us those things.
True.
But yeah, I've really enjoyed that. This is my proudest achievement.
So let's sample each and every one of them.
Okay.
Yes. So we had said about the Kayara
shea butter.
Yeah. For eczema and
eczema,
maybe,
actually for anyone, if your child has eczema, it does make a lot of sense because you're not putting any chemical, any perfume, any, nothing. It's just pure natural good stuff. And shea butter is one of the most premium African oils. And it's only available in from West Africa. Ours is proudly East African.
Yes.
It's from Uganda.
Yes.
And it's actually one of the most premium, Uganda has the most premium shea butter in the world.
And it smells really nice.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because some people
all
are
natural,
like,
actually. Like if
100% natural.
yeah, if maybe there, perfect. That is the Kayara shea butter.
And of course, proudly made in Kenya.
Proudly made in Kenya, guys. I'm so proud of you. And then we have this one. What's this one? Maybe if you can show the audience.
This is actually our newest product.
Oh,
it's a
wow.
body butter.
Maybe the camera there can catch that. That camera, perfect.
So this is a body butter. It is super moisturizing. This is a berry and cream.
Berry and cream. Oh my God.
Yes.
This is lovely.
It is.
It tastes like sorbet.
It
I love
actually
sorbet.
does taste like sorbet.
Yeah. It's
I mean, not
amazing.
taste. Just say taste. I'm about to eat it.
No.
But this
really
is this
nice.
is our newest product. It's a body butter. We're doing a range for women.
Okay.
So this is a berry and cream body butter. It was actually we did a limited edition for Mother's Day.
Okay.
And it was one of the products in our Mother's Day basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that for kids, for basically for
Anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah, but we fragranced it for women.
Okay.
Yeah, based on our little guinea pig community that we always ask, what kind of smells would you like?
Yeah.
So this was the one that was picked the most. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope we can get vanilla soon. I love vanilla.
I love vanilla, but because we're doing, we try to keep our products as natural as possible.
Okay.
The natural vanilla turns the color of the cream to brownish.
That's an interesting.
So so we would have to use the chemical fragrance, and so we're like,
Okay. So that's
yeah. Eventually, maybe if we find, a fragrance that will not affect anybody's skin, because at the end of the day, we want to remain a non-toxic brand. We're actually now thinking of using the perfume oils that are available here in Kenya. So we, working with local farmers, and just because we are proudly Kenyan, and there are some perfume oils that actually smell really nice.
Yeah.
So you don't have to smell like your grass has been just cut off.
True.
Off your body.
True. We have this one. What's this? The baby oil?
This is the baby oil. This is one of my favorite products because anybody can actually use it. It's a baby oil and it's 100% natural, based on shea butter.
Okay.
But there's an oil, and then this one also has vitamin E oil. It's got baobab oil, and of course no artificial colors, no additives, and 100% natural. So this
I love the
is
packaging,
my
though.
favorite.
You can see that on the screen there. The camera can zoom in for us. The packaging is really, really cute, TerryAnne.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it there.
We love our kids, so we want them to have nice things.
So we have the baby oil here. And what are these lovely
So
products?
this I'll start with this.
Yeah.
This is a beard oil
Beard oil for men.
for men.
Okay.
And it's got a number of really good oils. So it's got marula oil. We're big on marula oil, and marula is actually also harvested here in Kenya. Shea oil, part of that. It's got peppermint oil, a bit of oud, and
Oh, I love oud.
yeah, and
Perfect
we
choice.
use vanilla oil on it as well.
Okay. So how many drops should a guy put on there? Or it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. 2-3 drops. 2-3 drops. That's it. That's it. And it's also good with the razor bumps because it's got tea tree oil.
The beard oil by
Yeah.
Kayara Organics, guys. Okay. This one is
This one is
anti-acne.
Yes. And I remember when we decided to come up with an anti-acne oil, because most people who have acne think they
Like
need
myself.
to stay away from oil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that a lot, actually.
Exactly.
Stay away from oil and this and that, and it has to be, totally understand.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, oil is important, but it depends on what oil it is. So there's oils that are what's called a non-commodogen. The English has gone. Not commodogen. Yeah.
Okay, that one.
That one.
Yeah.
And there's oils that will not block your pores. So like what we use for this one is actually oils that can not heal, but can aid in healing the scarring. And I'll tell you which specific oil. So clove oil is really good for tea tree oil as well. Squalene is a moisturizing oil, so squalene is amazing. And what else? So the target oils for acne specifically on this one is tea tree and clove and clary sage, which is really good. And then the rest of it is just to manage your sebum. You know, when you have oily skin, you tend to strip off. You know, you want to stay as dry as possible, so you strip off your oils, which is not good because it causes your skin to produce more oil. So your skin needs to be super moisturized. And I always say, you know, if you do not want your skin to be too oily, wear the oil at night.
Yeah.
When you're going to bed, as part of your night routine. And then during the day, you wear your regular moisturizer or your anti-acne cream. But you can use this every night.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it's actually one of our best sellers.
Yeah?
Yes.
And then we have, okay, that's anti-acne, baobab oil.
Baobab oil is a super healing oil. It's and it's for everything. It's for hair, for wigs.
Yes, yes.
For hairline. It's also amazing for skin. People who have skin conditions. Baobab oil is, I don't know what to say, but for me it's actually a miracle oil. It's one of the most potent oils that's available. You know, we used to hear about argan, and argan came and went, but baobab is really good. Yeah, and it's for everyday use. Anybody can use it, men, women alike. Yeah. And
then we have the last one is marula oil.
This is our star oil.
The ladies love it, right?
Oh yeah, the ladies, even the men.
Really?
Yes.
So we do have men who really love themselves.
Even the men, because it's an easy to use oil. Marula oil is what they call a dry oil. So when you apply it, it doesn't leave, you don't stay greasy. So it's a very light oil, and it's actually one of our best sellers. When we started out, after the shea butter, we started with marula. Okay. And marula for us is, you know, marula is a super premium African oil. It's harvested in Southern Africa and in East Africa. One place practically in East Africa, which is Kenya. So it's unfortunately it's usually taken out, processed, branded as an international brand, sold for a container like this in a certain brand, which I'll not say, goes for about $100.
What?
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot. That's almost 11,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we sell it at what, about 1,000 shillings.
Okay.
And I mean, it is pure Kenyan. Pure marula oil, no additives as well. And it has. Marula oil has a big international following. Yeah. And every celebrity, you know, swears by marula oil. It is an amazing oil.
Of course. Yeah. And do you sell these like online, or do you have a physical shop?
We sell them online on our e-commerce shop, www.kayara.co.ke. But we also have stockists. So we are in Super Duper. We are in Garnet, a number of beauty stores and pharmacists and chemists as well.
Okay. Do you have a website online as well? You have a website as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And we deliver countrywide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you started selling these products internationally? Maybe Tanzania, Uganda?
No, but there was a time when we were selling through Good Life, and we were then exposed to their East African market. Yeah. So Uganda and Rwanda. Okay. But currently we're not. Yeah.
What is the most rewarding thing about being an entrepreneur, and the most frustrating?
The most rewarding thing is time. It's time. You get to, there's two sides of it. I remember one time when I left my job at Metropole, and now I was like 100% entrepreneur because I'd never done it before. It was always a side thing. And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, so what am I going to do today? Yeah. You realize you must organize your time so well, otherwise you lose your day completely. And on this side of the coin, if I can call it that, if you don't work, then you don't have a paycheck at the end of the month.
True.
So, yeah. I don't know if I answered the question.
No, you actually did.
I did. Okay.
You did. What does TerryAnne like doing for fun?
Dancing.
And I saw on your Instagram, you like, was it salsa?
Yes, I'm taking up some salsa classes.
Okay.
That's about it. And then hang out with my kids. I love nature, so picnicking. Travel. Yes, I haven't traveled much since COVID.
Yeah.
But I like one of my most memorable is always when I'm traveling with my kids. Yeah.
Let's do some quick fire questions, TerryAnne. Yeah, you ready for that?
Yeah.
So, what is your greatest fear? Heights? Okay, that's my fear.
I actually fear heights, but
Yeah?
not crazy much. What's my greatest fear? Caterpillars.
Caterpillars?
Yeah, like the black hairy ones.
Okay. They call you not spiders?
Yeah, no, I don't fear spiders. I don't fear snakes.
Okay, I fear snakes.
No, I don't.
Have you been to the snake park in Karen?
My dad was a snake handler. I haven't been to the snake park in Karen though.
Yeah, they have a snake park. You should take the kids there, by the way.
Wow,
They have different kinds of snakes and species of snakes. That's a good family day outing.
Yes, it is.
Right? Seeing snakes.
Oh, I'll definitely take them.
Please.
Yeah, I will.
Texting or talking?
Talking.
Why not texting? You're not
Because, I mean,
it takes a lot of time and...
Sometimes you could get lost in translation.
Okay.
I think, I mean, but it
Or being
depends.
misunderstood.
Or being, yeah, exactly. But yeah, talking. I'm a good texter though.
My producer, my director is asking, wine or whiskey? Really? Really? On national TV? Okay, he's saying you need to answer that question. I'm sorry, TerryAnne. Wine or whiskey?
It depends on when.
Friday?
Friday, wine.
Sunday?
No alcohol on Sunday.
Tuesday?
Could do whiskey after work.
What kind of whiskey?
Johnny Walker.
Oh, you're a Johnny Walker babe. Good one, TerryAnne. Favorite holiday?
Mauritius. I went once with my daughter, just the two of us, my older one, when she was about 7, 8 years old. She wishes we went when she's older because she says definitely she'll enjoy it more. But that was an absolutely beautiful trip.
The island is beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. How would your best friend describe you?
Whew, that's Monica.
Monica, if you're watching, how would she describe you?
She would say I'm kind. I make time for my friendships. I invest in my friendships, which is why I don't have very many. I think she would say I'm fun to be with. She would be an introvert because I am. I just know when to speak, but I'm an introvert. And she would say I'm a good mom.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a great mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
Oh, great. 10.
10. Favorite ice cream flavor?
I actually don't like ice cream, but I'll go for vanilla.
Vanilla. 3 more questions. What's something you could eat for a week straight?
Sauté potatoes.
Sauté. I love sauté potatoes.
My gym trainer would kill me, but he knows it.
Sauté potatoes. Okay. Nickname your parents used to call you?
I actually didn't have a nickname.
Not even Terry or Anne or T?
No.
Okay. No nickname.
They just call me Chebet.
Chebet.
Yeah.
Lastly, if you could travel back in time, what period would you go to and why?
The Bridgerton time.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Because I'm like, I was made for that time. Well, let me not say that. But well, I hope in another life I live that life. The fashion sense.
Yes.
The manners.
Yeah.
Castles.
Yeah. And the horses.
Beautiful
and the
spaces,
lawns.
the carriages.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
So Bridgerton.
Okay. TerryAnne, thank you so much for your time. Sadly, time has ended. But of course, guys can watch a repeat of this interview on our Facebook page. That is TV47 Kenya. And of course, our Twitter handle, T47KE. Now, for me and my team, unfortunately, it's